Sun City Palm Desert versus Sun City Shadow Hills. Which is better? Both of these communities have Sun City in the name, and both were built by Webb. So most buyers assume they're basically the same place in different zip codes, but they're not. Sun City Palm Desert and Sun City Shadow Hills are genuinely different communities, and choosing the wrong one could mean years of wishing you'd pick the other. So let's break down exactly what separates them: location, age, HOA fees, home prices, golf clubs and organizations, everything. And if you want all of this in one place, I've got a free Sun City relocation guide linked in the description below. Hi, Neil here, your Living in Palm Springs real estate agent. We help buyers and sellers make educated moves with real clear numbers. We help them with neighborhood context, and we help buyers and sellers develop a real strategy that helps them avoid costly mistakes. Now let's get into it. Sun City Palm Desert was built between 1992 and 2004, so the community is fully built out. Every home you'll see there is a resale. It sits in Palm Desert off Washington Street, and it's a big community, around 5,000 homes. Sun City Shadow Hills is in Indio off of Jefferson Street, and that's a bit smaller at roughly 3,400 homes. It was built between 2003 and 2016, so the homes skew newer, and you'll notice more modern floor plans, more open layouts, things like that. Now, the age gap between these two matters more than most people think. When you drive through the Sun City Palm Desert gates, everything feels mature and settled. The desert landscaping has had decades to fill in, and the trees are established. The neighborhood has that lived-in character that newer communities just can't fake. Sun City Shadow Hills has a cleaner, more contemporary feel. The bones of the community are newer, and that shows in the architecture and the finishes that you'll find inside the homes. Location is where these two really start to pull apart. Sun City Palm Desert sits right in the middle of the Coachella Valley. You're close to El Paseo Shopping, which is the nicest retail corridor out here, and you're close to Eisenhower Health. And you're near the heart of everything the Coachella Valley has to offer. Restaurants, medical services, a lot of all that is right there. Sun City Shadow Hills is further east in Indio. And I want to be clear about something right now, because I hear this come up a lot. People ask if Sun City Shadow Hills is close to the Coachella Valley Music Festival. It's not. The festival grounds are well to the south and to the west. Shadow Hills is in its own quiet corner of the Coachella Valley. Retail and dining corridor just to the east off the I-10 freeway. New restaurants, new shops. The whole stretch has been building out, so the convenience factor there is improving quickly. It's a different vibe than Palm Desert, but it's not the middle of nowhere. Both communities are fully gated, and both carry the Webb standard of active adult living. But the moment you drive through each gate, they do feel different. And that feeling matters when you're deciding where you want to spend the next chapter of your life. Okay, so here's where a lot of buyers focus, and for good reason. HOA fees are a real monthly expense, and what you get for those fees varies between the two communities. Sun City Palm Desert runs two associations, a master association and a sub-association, and your combined fees typically land somewhere between $400 to $500 a month, depending on the specific location within Sun City. That covers access to the recreation centers, the pools, fitness facilities, tennis and pickleball courts, the common areas, landscaping, and in some plans, the cable and internet service are included. The infrastructure is all there, and it's well maintained, even if some of the facilities have more years on them than Sun City Shadow Hills. Sun City Shadow Hills has a similar dual association structure, and fees are generally in a comparable range, roughly $400 to $450 per month, depending on your location. Because Shadow Hills was built later, the recreation facilities are newer, and that shows when you walk through the clubhouses. You're getting a more modern look and feel on the amenity side. So what does your HOA dollar actually buy you? Both communities include access to multiple pools, indoor and outdoor, fitness centers, sports courts, and organized activities. Both have ballrooms and event spaces where clubs and social events happen on a regular basis. Neither one is cutting corners on amenities, and the difference is mostly about age of the facility and the scale of what's available. Since Palm Desert's larger population has had more time to build out its club ecosystem. Now, let's talk about home prices, because that's where things get interesting. Sun City Palm Desert is fully built out, resale only, and you're looking at a pretty wide range. Entry homes start around $400,000 to $450,000 for a smaller attached or a detached plan. For a larger detached home and a pool, updated kitchen, and a premium lot, you could easily be at $700,000 to $800,000 or above. The median price in Sun City Palm Desert typically runs somewhere in the mid to upper $500,000 range. Sun City Shadow Hills, because the homes are newer and the floor plans tend to be more open and modern, sees strong demand also. Entry level starts in a similar range, around $400,000 to $450,000. But the same $600,000 to $700,000 budget, you may find yourself getting more square footage and more updated finishes at Sun City Shadow Hills simply because the homes were built more recently. The value question. Newer home at Sun City Shadow Hills versus more established community feel at Sun City Palm Desert. Is that something almost every buyer wrestles with? And it is. And here's the thing, there is no wrong answer to that question. It really depends on what matters to you most. The feel of the mature, well-established neighborhood or newer construction with more modern layouts. But before you decide that, there's one more piece of information that moves the needle for a lot of buyers, and that's what actually it looks like inside the gates of each development. Let's take golf first, because for a lot of buyers in these communities, golf isn't a weekend hobby, it's actually a lifestyle anchor. Sun City Palm Desert has two 18-hole courses, the Mountain View course and the Desert course. Both are resident access courses, and as a homeowner, you get preferred tee times and also resident pricing. The courses are mature, the conditions are solid, and because of this is a large community, there's enough demand to keep things moving at a really good pace. If you're someone who wants to play 4 or 5 days a week, Sun City Palm Desert has the course volume to support that without you feeling like you're always chasing a tee time. Sun City Shadow Hills has 2 courses as well, an 18-hole championship course and a 9-hole executive course. The championship course is newer, the conditions tend to be well maintained, and you get those Santa Rosa mountain views from the fairways, which honestly makes for a pretty great round even if you're having an off day. The executive course is a good option when you want a quicker round or if you're working out on your short game. Shadow Hills has fewer holes overall than Palm Desert, so if you're a daily golfer, just factor that in. Tee time availability can also tighten up during peak season. Both communities are going to have resident membership rates, and the golf leagues you can join are there right away. Golf is deeply woven into the social fabric of both places, so whichever you choose, you're going to find people on the course. Now here's where I think the conversation really gets important, and it's something buyers sometimes overlook until they actually start living there. And that's the clubs and organizations inside these communities. This is what keeps people genuinely busy and connected day to day. Not just golf, not just the pool, it's the clubs. Sun City Palm Desert, because it's larger and older, has had more time to build out its club ecosystem. We're talking well over 80 chartered clubs and organizations. There are arts and crafts clubs, travel clubs, fitness groups, card clubs, woodworking, ceramics, a chorus, a drama club, volunteer organizations, RV clubs, and the list goes on and on. The social calendar at Sun City Palm Desert is dense and established, and that's a big deal if you're someone who wants to hit the ground running when you move in. You don't have to build a social life from scratch, it's already there waiting for you. Sun City Shadow Hills also has a strong and growing roster. The community supports over 60 clubs and organizations. Sun City Shadow Hills has a strong and growing club roster also. The community supports over 60 clubs and organizations. Because the community is newer and slightly smaller, the club scene is a bit more tight-knit. The facilities where clubs meet are modern and the spaces feel fresh, and there's a sense of community that's still actively building its identity. Some buyers really do love that energy. You're not just joining something that's been running on autopilot for 30 years, you're actually helping shape what the community becomes. If that appeals to you, Sun City Shadow Hills has that in a way that Sun City Palm Desert simply can't replicate. Both communities have full-time activity directors, organized fitness classes, holiday events, themed dinners, and also a guest speaker series. The infrastructure for staying connected and active exists in both Sun Cities. The difference is really about scale and maturity. So after all of that, location, HOA fees, home prices, golfs, clubs, and organizations, which one is really better? Well, here's the honest answer. Neither one is universally better. The right community depends entirely on what you're optimizing for. So let me give you these buyer profiles and let's see where you land. If you want the most established social scene, the densest club calendar, proximity to El Paseo, Eisenhower Health, and the heart of the Coachella Valley, and you love the feel of mature neighborhoods with established landscaping and that classic Sun City character, then Sun City Palm Desert is your community. It's been doing this for over 30 years and it shows in the best possible way. If you want a newer home, more modern floor plans, updated amenity facilities, and you're drawn to that growing I-10 corridor with new dining and shopping coming in fast, and you appreciate a community that still has a little momentum and energy to it, Sun City Shadow Hills is going to feel like the right fit. You're getting more contemporary construction and a tight-knit community that punches above its weight. And if you're budget conscious and trying to figure out where your dollar stretches furthest, the honest answer is to look carefully at both of them. The price gap between the two communities might be smaller than you expect at the entry level, but the differences in what you get for that price, the lot size, the floor plan, the HOA fee structure, proximity to services can shift the calculus significantly depending on your priorities. That's exactly the kind of side-by-side breakdown I put together for buyers all the time, and I'm happy to do it for you. If you want a custom comparison based on what you're actually looking for, your budget, your lifestyle priorities, how often you play golf, whether clubs matter to you, reach out to my telephone number below. You don't get a call center, you actually get me. Or you can reach out and schedule a free Zoom call. The link is in the description below. No pressure, no pitch, just a real conversation about which community makes sense for you specifically. And before you go, make sure you download the free Sun City Relocation Guide linked in the description below. It covers both communities in detail, the HOA breakdowns, club lists, floor plan overviews, and a lot more. Everything in one place so you can take your time and you can really compare. And then let's figure out which community is actually the right fit for you. And if you're still exploring the Palm Springs area, be sure to check out this Living in Palm Springs video coming up next.